I don't know when it started getting right, but if nothing kept going wrong, how many of us would have ever got right? COP, Shalom, Hotel, Namaste, Mahalo, uh, and all the other good greetings, man. How everybody doing? I hope everybody ready and operate, vibrating at the highest optimal frequency of being in life in this time, wherever you are. You know, if nothing kept going wrong, how many of us would have ever got right? Be honest. Because everybody that then worked with their shadow became everything that they had a problem with. And that's why triggers so important. That's why triggers can be our best friend, because our triggers, or things that trigger us, and what I mean by that is triggers can be our best friend is because things that trigger us is really showing us something within ourselves. Things that trigger us is really giving us a self-identification about something that we have going on with ourselves, you know, that bother us when we see somebody else doing it. Message. If nothing kept going wrong, how many of us would have ever got right? Because you ain't do no shadow work, you became it. See? And shadow work don't only help us shed the things that's no longer necessary, no longer beneficial, no longer helpful, no longer catalyst for growth within ourselves. You see, it help us shed. It help us shed people, places, and things, you know, that run out of course as well. You see, the shadow work help us shed the people who was in the frequencies, you know, that we grew through. Unless we're still entertaining those frequencies that we outgrew through, and if any one of us still entertaining the frequency in any aspect in our life concerning a person, place, or thing, because we all got different vices, whether it's a person, place, or thing, you see, then we can feel that tug of war going on within us. You see, we can feel that tug of war going on within us. So you can grade yourself, you know, wherever you are within yourself, according to the current space of ascension, what we call ascension, you know, or expansion, you know. And I say that because there's different missions for different people, you know. But when it comes to you, are you convinced yet? By your own self-experiences, are you convinced yet? When it comes to you, have you convinced yourself according to your own self-experiences? When it comes to you, are you convicted by your own life and your own self-evidence? Not mine. You see, not Jesus, not Muhammad's, not Krishna's, by your own, not Buddha's. You see, not the Orishas, by your own. See, not mine, because I'm already convinced by my convictions. I'm already convinced in my convictions. You know, my self-experience, my self-evidence. You see, so nobody can't point me outside to nothing, because it's through myself that I came in contact with it. Message. But are you convinced? And that's the question. See? Because it's through my life experiences, you know, that I'm able to sit on this side of the camera and speak to the things that I'm speaking to from the side of the camera that I'm speaking to it. Walk with me. You know? It's the ripple effect. It's the ripple effect, and that's what we seeing going on. That's what we feeling going on. Even if we ain't aware of what we seeing, and even if we ain't aware of what we feeling, you know. But we can see it going on, especially through social media networks, and I ain't even on social media networks, you know. But I'm tapped into the collective, and it's a lot of we got a lot of things going on. I'm also disconnected from it, so I'm able to observe it without absorbing it. Message, you know. But it's a lot of things going on. But due to the fact that, you know, I'm here with us, I know I'm not gonna act like, you know, I'm a part of it, knowing that I'm apart from it, knowing that I'm a part of it. Walk with me. You hear me? You know. Let me see. I got a lot of downloads, man. What would science be without the mystics, without the shamans, without the seers, without the priestesses, without the light workers? You know, what would science be? Because science just proving what the mystics, what the shamans, what the seers, what the priestesses, what the light workers, you see, what the gypsies, you see, what the quote unquote witches, because that's what they call them, already knew. And I share that because I was having a conversation with somebody, you know, and many times when we having conversations with persons and we don't disperse from the persons or people that we maybe have had conversations with, and it may be hours later, minutes later, sometimes days later, and insights will start coming to us based on different interfaces that we had, you know, with people. And I was having one of those moments. So some call them aha moments. And you know, I was being given some things, you know, and what I was being given was about our path from human to God man, you know, or from the human back to our divinity, which led me to the conclusion that the path for human to God go through 3 phases, and we can test ourselves in it, you know, through our time here. But the path for of human to God go through 3 phases, and through all 3, I just hold up a mirror and let others see who they really are, and I do this beyond words. First I do it vibrationally, you know, then I do it energetically, then I do it through light, then I do it through sound, then I do it through my physical appearance. So it's so many things that has taken place, you know, in the unseen realm. You see, that the physical body hasn't even processed until it's processed, even though it's felt, even though it may be heard, you see. But I just hold up a mirror and let others see who they really are, because in these 3 phases that I'm gonna speak to, you know, I went through all 3 to be able to find myself in all 3, and able to be able to see where people at when I'm interfacing with others, according to the things that come out about us. Because the only things that can come out about us is only the things that we are full of. So if you full of shit, that's all can come out you. You see, if you full of greatness, goodness, or, you know, all the other qualities, you see, then that's what's gonna come out you, and that's just how it is. But the 3 phases is seeker, observer, and operator, and it being full access of your co-creator abilities with the universe, with God, with source, with whatever you know it as. You see, your higher power, you know. We got to go through those 3 phases, and we're in one of those 3 phases, you know. And you could be in more than one phase at one time. But we either in the seeker, we either in the observer, or we either in the operator, you know. And and God is an acronym that breaks down to generator, operator, and destroyer. You see, so if it ain't no, so if the generator, operator, and destroyer is within man, then it ain't no, so it ain't no it's nothing outside of us that we don't interface with according to what we have created in our mind. So the God, the generator, is the God principle, and the destroyer is what we call the devil, the devil principle, or the dark principle, or the chaotic principle, or the feminine principle, and the generator, is the light principle, so forth and so on. And in the middle is the operator. You see, you are the operator. See, and based on what you're generating, it's going to depend on what you're destroying, and based on what you're destroying, it's going to determine what you're generating. You see, so I share that to say I read the map of my own scars to speak life into yours. You see, and that's what shadow work has been all about. So this ain't no time. I said that to say this ain't no time for generic spirituality. This ain't no time for generic spirituality. We reap what we sow, and as I reap what I sow, you will reap what you sow, because we reap what we sow. So I say that to say, stay lit, stand in your truth. You hear me? Whatever your truth may be, yeah. Stand in your truth. Stand in your truth, and know what your truth is, and don't need nobody to validate it. Don't need nobody to applaud, and don't need nobody to yes man. And I say that because if you remove the yes man from your life, if you remove the yes women from your life, how many of us will have solid people in our life? If you remove the gaslighters from your life, if you remove the love bombers from your life, if you remove the frenemies from your life, if you remove the two-facers from your life, you see, even the ones that we may be, even the gaslighting and the love bombing and the frenemy and the two-facing we do to ourselves, if we remove them from our life, how many solid people would we have in our life? Would we even be the solid person in our life? Because if you don't know who they was and got missing, you still got around you. You see, or you one of them, or you one of them listening to me right now. See, so we all gotta choose. We all gotta choose. And I share that because I was asked, what is it about me that make me who I am to others? And I responded just to the fact that it's just the simple fact that I'm not perfect. I'm just real. You see, and by that and through that, I shake shit up without even trying, because that's just the alchemy. That's just the alchemical nature of my energy signature, and real people resonate with that. Even if and real people just resonate with that, and if you're a real people, real people resonate with you. Even if it's only a fruit, even if we don't have many, in the fruit that we do, and those that we do, that's where we find our tribe. You hear me? That's where we find our tribe. And if you resonate with that, I'm not lying. I'm just aligning. And if you resonate with that, that means you aligning too. You hear me? It's the ripple effect. You heard? It's the ripple effect. And pain is the purpose to heal. So we're gonna continue doing that. We're gonna continue doing that, and we're gonna continue doing that. Feel good for no reason at all. If you haven't by now, you know what to do. Hit that like button, man. Share the video. You hear me? Drop a comment if you drop a comment. if I left something on your brain that made you think, ask a question. If I left something on your brain that made you think, you hear me? Yeah, yeah. Stand up. Be accounted for. Show up for yourself. You hear me? I'm just a motivator. I'm just a motivator, man. I'm just a motivator. And until we do it again, I'm known as Saul. Be you how you be you. Come to family and soul tribe, BCU. I love y'all. Peace.